there will be a limit. And only a few people are going to get to that crazy level. Because again, it's a crazy level. You need to be mad dedicated. And sometimes you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Or would I rather just throw my face into a cake? Simon Miller, the bald asshole here, coming at you like Cleopatra. Do you remember that song?
Cleopatra, coming at ya. Cleopatra, coming at ya.
Were they a UK or an American band? I can't remember. I only say that because usually if you're a big band in America, you make it over to these shores, whereas if you're a big UK band, sometimes you don't make it to America. Just three girls and had that really catchy song. They had another one as well. What am I talking about? Why are we talking about Cleopatra? Oh, please remember to put a picture of Cleopatra. Shout out to Cleopatra. I hope they're still smashing it. So this is something I wanted to do for a while. I will say now as early as I can, this doesn't pertain to all fitness companies. And it's more like the generic stereotypical thing, especially new companies do. They love doing this kind of thing, but they all have this kind of bizarre message they send out there. And as the fitness community has got bigger, especially here on YouTube, you kind of see it double down on all the time. Not just by some of the companies, again, not all of the companies, just some, but by some YouTubers as well. I was watching a video the other day. As you know, I don't call people out. That's not my style. More respect, well, all the respect to people that do. Again, each to their own. But I thought, well, I gotta talk about it a little bit because some of them are quite funny. So here's basically 6 secrets fitness companies don't want you to know. Don't know why I had to whisper that, but we did. I regret it. Number 6 is that wicking sweat is not essential. Now, wicking sweat is great, right? Because if you are in the gym and it's a hot day or you're working out really hard, you are going to sweat. And if you can afford some of the material that will wick sweat away, that's awesome because it means, well, it will help you with acne and spots and all hygiene, basically. Because again, what it does is it absorbs all that sweat into the fiber as opposed to it being on your body. I have suffered with spots all my life. I had really bad acne when I was a kid and it's never really gone away. Like if I eat certain things, I will break out, so I have to be smart. So this isn't really about wicking sweat, but what it is about is this idea that every single, well, again, not every single, but a lot of fitness companies will push, especially when you're on their website and buying their stuff, which is you have to sweat in the gym, and if you don't sweat in the gym, terrible things are going to happen to you and your family. You're going to die, you're going to have funerals, you're not going to know you're dead because when you're dead, you're dead. So you have to sweat. You must sweat, therefore please buy our clothing, which will stop you from having all the problems that come along with sweat. That's great. It's not true. Sweating has nothing to do with whether or not you're having a good workout. You can have the most amazing workout ever and not even have a bead of water on your forehead, unless of course you're crying and you take it and you wipe it on your head. Because it's just a regulation of temperature, sweating. When you are too hot, your body will sweat to try and cool you down. That is it. Also, this is where this bizarre idea comes from. And it's probably scientifically true, but I think it's nuts. But where this idea comes from that, if you're hot, you should have a hot drink. No, I want a hot drink when I'm cold. What are you doing to me? When I'm hot, I want a cold drink. That's the end of it. But do not buy into this idea that you must sweat. I mean, when you're doing cardio, you probably should be sweating because I would imagine that's the exception to the rule. Because if you are doing some kind of cardio, be it steady state or HIIT, you want to have some form of intensity there and you should be out of breath and you should be a little bit sweaty, or if you're doing HIIT, super sweaty. But when it comes to weights and cardio, really, don't worry if you're sweating or not. If you want to go and buy the sweat wicking materials, I've got some. They're really, really good, but it is not, again, like I say, the be-all and the end-all. Number 5 kind of ties into a video we did yesterday about supplements. It's just one of these weird things where I've recorded these videos and gone, they kind of match up. You don't need supplements. And of course, no fitness company wants you to know that because what's their whole job? They're selling you supplements. Now, I mean, just go watch the video from yesterday, really. But supplements are good, right? They do have a benefit. They can give you the extra 1 to 2%. Things like multivitamins, omega-3 tablets. There's something else that I said you should absolutely take, and now I can't remember because of my damn brain. But those kind of things, I would always take a multivitamin. I'd always take omega-3. I'd always take creatine. I'd always take whey protein. These 4 things to me, I think will absolutely benefit your lifting, workout, fitness regime. 100%. Find the best protein that works for you and go with it. Don't buy into this nonsense where you have to spend £75 million on a protein, otherwise it's no good. Not true. There are some proteins that are better than others, but there are some TVs that are better than others. You find the one that, you don't go buy a 75-inch TV like, well, I've got to buy this one because it's most expensive. Don't know who that was. Probably shouldn't have done it. I regret it. Find the protein that works for you. But do not think, if you have no money and you really need to budget, the things that you want to invest in are a gym membership, obviously, and your food. food and gym membership, and then how you put those things together and how hard you train and calories and all that kind of nonsense is the most important thing. But again, you can read some descriptions of pills and they're like, this is the number one pill for getting jacked and ripped and you will do it in 3 days. You're like, what kind of pill is this? And also, if it is causing such a big biological change in my body, should I be taking this? That doesn't sound safe at all. Again, make sure you do your research and try them. I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite. I've tried them. Anything that I could buy over the counter, I've given it a go and been like, please be the magic pill, please be the magic pill, please be the magic pill. And mostly what I've done is, I wouldn't say I've wasted my money. That's not true. A lot of them I actually have got a little bit of a benefit. It's pushed me in the right direction. But again, they're just not essential. They're not. Wouldn't it be great if they were? Because that would make life so much easier. If you could just invest in sort of 10 pills and it's actually going to steer you on your way to muscle gain town. And some people it will work with. It depends how sensitive you are to these things. But again, just try and keep it as simple as you can. I think it benefits. Number 4, shock horror. I'm sure you know this one. The models that these companies use aren't just using their products. Now, I'll be the first to say, if anyone wants to come and sponsor me from a protein company or whatever, I will do it. Absolutely, as long as I like the product. But there would be something that I would be taking that wouldn't be of their range, because that just would be madness. So, and I get it, I understand the marketing, and again, if an opportunity did come my way, I would test out the products, and as long as I liked it, I'd give it 2 thumbs up. That's how you grow a YouTube channel and try and make it self-sustainable, which is a little dream of mine. But you can't expect to see, we'll call him Bob. I don't know, Bob, and he represents, problem is there's so many fitness companies, I'm trying to make up names, this will probably be a real one. But Bob represents Warrior Fitness 72,000. If you've called your company that, you drastically need to change your name. But he's not just taking, I can't remember what I said, Warrior Fitness 9,000, whatever it is, products. Of course he will be, or he should be. There are some scrupulous characters out there that just say they take this stuff that don't. I don't agree with that at all. I think, you want to be actually taking the stuff that you're telling your viewers that you are. But there will be other things, of course, he will be getting elsewhere. It's a great story. I can't tell you the names, but my dad used to work in sports, and he had this absolutely awesome story about a very famous football player back in the day that was sponsored by a very famous brand. And my dad went to cover a training session, and he told this player, oh, the cameras are here today, insert name here. And he was wearing the wrong footwear compared to what he was sponsored by. So he got a black marker pen and he just coloured in the logo so that nobody would see. And that sums it up. There's nothing wrong with sponsorships. There's nothing wrong, again, with trying to better yourself, be that mentally or financially or physically or whatever. But do not, my point is, when you see one of these models, don't think I need to now buy every single piece of product from that catalog and I'll look exactly like that. Even if that was the case, you're not going to look like that guy. You're just not, because you're you and you have a completely different chemical makeup. Everything about you is different. Maybe you'll look better. Maybe, I don't want to say maybe you'll look worse, because as I always go on, your goal with the gym should be look better than you did last week. But yeah, it's just an important thing to note. Still buy into these people, have heroes, have people that you look up to, but just try and be smart about it. Number 3 is this idea that everybody has to be lean. You got to be lean. If you're a bloke, you got to be 8% or down. If you're a girl, you got to be 12 to 15%. I can't think what they're, obviously women have higher body fat percentages. I tell you this, I'll be honest with you. Here's a secret a fitness company doesn't want you to know. If you get super duper lean, you're going to feel like crap. It's horrible. It's not fun at all. So again, while in the social media, going back to the models, you can look at someone and go, holy, wow, amazing. They look great. As soon as that camera goes off, they probably go, oh, I want a hamburger. I'm desperate for a hamburger. Then they probably sleep for 6 hours. I have only been super lean once in my life, and even then I wasn't that lean when I did my bodybuilding competition. But I can tell you, even then, oh man, I was tired all the time. My emotions were all over the place because my body was freaking out. So, I didn't have hormonal balance. I was hungry, then I wasn't hungry. I couldn't eat anything without getting bloated. And it was all, I did not feel like a happy human being. And of course, there is a low body fat percentage that you will be able to hold year round, depending what that is, where you are also be able to feel positive and happy. But when you get super duper low, it ain't there. It ain't there. So while fat loss and burning weight is such a good goal to have, there will be a limit. And there's only a few people are going to get to that crazy level. Because again, it's a crazy level. You need to be mad dedicated. And sometimes you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Or would I rather just throw my face into a cake? But, that's the message that gets out there. Super lean, abs, abs, abs. Like a terrible cheerleading song. Go for it, absolutely. Make it one of your goals, but do not think it is a way to live your life 365 days a year. It's just not. It's just not, unless you want to be sad all the time. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to be sad? Number two, I actually just touched on this. I wasn't thinking. But you see this everywhere as well, that for some reason, men and women train differently. Like, if you're a woman, you've got to stretch and do yoga. If you're a man, you've got to go to the gym and do weights. Absolute bullshit. You choose what you want to do. Of course, if you want to go do yoga and stretch as a man, awesome. And if you're a girl or woman and you want to go in the gym and lift heavy weights and deadlift and bench press, you should be doing it. You know what your goals are. You know what you're passionate about. But even today, you can, these websites have different training programs or different sections. And it's all like, women, men. I'm like, we got to get rid of that kind of stereotype. That is nuts. There are plenty of men that want to stretch, and there's plenty of women that want to lift. And, there are some differences. Again, I mentioned the higher body fat percentage that women will have because they are built to carry children. That's the deal with it. And obviously, there's different hormonal things that happen with that. But that's getting into the nitty gritty. Ultimately, when it comes to training, let's say you want to put on muscle, that's still the exact same logic as before. There isn't some magic route for men and magic route for women. Again, there are tiny specifics. I want to make that clear for the third time because I know what the comments are like. You didn't mention this. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Someone said that to me the other day. They're like, well, you didn't mention, it was a story in the last episode. You didn't mention the story. The whole video's about the story. Come on. But there is no difference. Again, do not get invested in that either. There will be tiny little things you need to change. But men, women, goats, elephants, if you want to get, different for an elephant, if you want to get jacked, is very, very simple. Calories in, calories out, do this, do that, protein, la, la, la. Number one is a favorite of mine too, and thankfully one I never bought into just because I hated the idea, and that is that high intensity interval training is everything. You got to be doing it all the time. You got to do it with weights. You got to do it with the cardio. You've got to be doing it with your work. When you wake up the day, you should just throw your arms around as quickly as you can for 10 seconds, then stop and then do it again for 10 seconds. This is not true. You need to figure out what is good for you. I am a massive proponent of fasted, steady state cardio, and I've read scientific studies that say, I didn't say this, but essentially, Simon Miller, you're a moron. You shouldn't be doing fasted, steady state cardio. And it's right, and it's true, but it works for me. It works for my life, and it makes me happy, and we've already talked about that. But I guess it's the idea, because steady state cardio sounds crap, right? You got to get on this treadmill for 50 minutes and just do this for forever, and you got to get a little bit of a sweat. You should be able to have a conversation. Like, that is so dull. Whereas HIIT is like, man, you got to smash this thing for 15 minutes, and we've got the clothes to back it up, and we've got this pill that's going to give you the energy, and we've got this protein that's going to allow you to calm down, and you're going to be big and jacked. And that is true. You can do all of that, but and never do I ever see a company advocating steady state cardio because it sounds absolutely like murder. So I totally get it, but I'm outing it right now because I tell you, man, like if you're like me and you don't like HIIT and you've now started to think that that's what you have to do, you are going to be entering a space where you're not enjoying your training. And that's all. I always come back to this on my videos by accidents. Enjoying it is the number one thing because we get hippie trippy now. We only have a short time on this earth. Life goes by like crazy. Like it's July. How the hell is it July? Happy the 1st of July. If you're not getting something out of it that makes you feel positive and makes you feel gleeful inside, don't do it. And I mean that with weights. I mean that with cardio. Go do MMA. I know it's hard at the moment, but go do MMA. Go do boxing. Go do wrestling. Oh, I would love to do wrestling. Not going to happen for a while. It is the key. It is the most important thing, and I'm going to keep ramming it down everybody's throats because mental health, it's not more important than physical health. They work in balance with one another, but everybody talks about physical health. No one talks about mental health, although we do it more now, but there's always more to say. And there you go. There's 6 secrets the fitness companies, don't want you to know. It's such a clickbaity YouTube title, but it is YouTube, and I'm trying to get this thing kicked off. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Even if you think I'm a bald asshole, that's great. Hit the bell, ding dings. You know what's going on. Got a Patreon, patreon.com/Simon316. Even $1 helps me make this kind of content, and I really do enjoy making this kind of content. Check out some other videos. See you soon.